Well, welcome aboard. I'm Captain Jake, and we're back with another Tabletop Tuesday. Today's Tabletop Tuesday will be the War of 1812. We may play 2 games of this today, or we may play 1 based on how long it takes us. So, as we normally set up, we have British control of all the lakes and their forts, except for there. And what we want to do is move towards Montreal or towards York. Problem with York is we end up with 2 forts right away, but that's what we'll start with. So let's go ahead and hit turn 1 here. There we go, turn 1. All right. First roll is a 5. Okay, we have our resource points. 5. We get 3. Well, hot darn. All right, we want to control lakes. Well, I'm going to head towards Montreal again. So let's see if we can control this lake. That will be Lake Champlain. And we need to roll a 4, 5, or 6. 3, no luck. Well, let's see if we can push him back. 1, 2, no advance. Wow. We're starting off hot today, boy. All right, let's try that again. Same attack. 2. We got 3 resource points, and we changed absolutely nothing. So, wonderful. Now it's the British turn. They get a 6, and we're on an odd turn. Indians on the warpath. Put the mark of the Northwest Warrior box in play. Oh, crap. All right, in play. Automatically, this guy automatically gets a -1 to the die roll, and he's already got that. So, turn 2, and a hot way to start. 2, we get 1 resource point. Wouldn't it? Okay. Well, let's see here. Let's attack from Plattsburgh again towards Ricoli. Let's see if we get 3. Oh, we finally won. Yay. We'll move this guy, and we'll move him. So just noting the time I started so that we don't run over too late. So now, British 6 again. If not in play, but we're an even turn. So other fronts, Chesapeake, Gulf, reduce American regulars by 1 player's choice. Nothing, since we don't have any regulars involved. So let's go ahead and go to turn 3. And a 4. 4, we get 2 resource points. Okay, let's see if we can get this lake under control, which we need a 4, 5, or 6, and we get a 1. All right, let's remove this warrior. Okay, 4, yay! We removed the warrior. Hot darn! I'm laughing because it's like, wow, yeah, good rolls. We're just happy rolls. Okay, so odd turn for the British. They get a 4 all turns. Flip over 2 British front markers to regulars, player's choice. All right, if we do that, these all get extra bonuses, but we have to flip over 2, so it doesn't matter. Everybody's in a fort, so let's flip over this one and this one. Like I say, they get the -1 to the die roll, now be -2 to the die roll. And let's move on to turn 4. 3, and we get 2 resource points here. So Let's go ahead and attack here. That's a -1 to the die roll. 5 -1 is still a 4. Yes. I'm going to guess. I can't really tell if you can see that, but that's a 5. So I'll see in post-production whether you can actually see the rolls or not. I think I'll just move them out here like that. That way I know you can see it. There's 5. So we won that one, -1, which is 4, which we still won. So we now, at least we're in a fort. So if they attack us back as a straight attack. And we get 1 more resource point. Let's go to Lake Erie. 4. Ship battle, Lake Erie. Yay. All right. Well, we're getting a little bit better here. We're an even turn for the British. British roll a 1, and we're an even turn. Defend Upper Canada. Attack the American front markers on the Northwest and Niagara fronts. All right, attack here first. 3. He wins, pushes us back. Now remember, for those that haven't been here before, if they hold 2 of these, they automatically win. So now we get 1 more attack here on the Niagara front. 1, no change. That's good. That's good for us. I got to remember to move the die. 1, no change on the attacker, no advance. So 1 or 2. All right, so now we go to turn 5. And we get a 2, which is only 1 resource point, which will immediately attack here because he's not in a fort and we can push him back. So no die modifications. So that will be 4, 5, or 6. 3. No, I'm sorry. 3 through 6. So we push him back. Seesaw battle going on. Now it's the British turn on turn 5. All right, and they get a 4. Flip over 2 British markers, 2 regulars. Player's choice have now already flipped over. So we get to flip 2 more. This one and that one. Which is not good because everybody's in a fort, so that's a -2. So let's go ahead and go to turn 6. 2, and we get 1 resource point attack. Our best odds are 50-50. Let's go to Lake Ontario. And Lake Ontario, 4, attacker wins. So we now have control of Lake Ontario. How long that remains to be seen. So now let's go ahead and do turn for the British. Turn 5. A little drink here. It says turn 5, even turn, which we are. British Navy, attack American ships on American-controlled lakes. So he attacks Lake Erie. And gets a 2, no effect. I'm sorry, it was Lake Ontario. Now it's Lake Erie. Okay. And a 4. Attacker wins, change control. All right. Let's go off to turn 7. We see what we're going to do once. Well, let's find out how many points we get. 5. All right, we get us 3 resource points. So let's see here. This is the closest one, and this is the closest one. So let's attack here. That's a -2. So -2, we need a 5 or a 6, and we would win. First attack. A 5. Sweet. -2 is 3. So we move him back. And because we beat the regulars, he automatically gets flipped over. And we move forward. We're going to do the same here with our second point. 2, no change. I don't even have to look because that ends up being a 0. Because again, over here, we're looking at -2. So let's go ahead and use, that was a 2 for those. And we'll attack again. And we got a 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. And no advance. Odd turn for the British. And they get a 1. Odd turn. Attack the American front markers on the northeast and St. Lawrence fronts. Here's this front, here's that front. All right, first thing he does is he attacks. 6. Easy win there. And now he attacks on the northeast front. 4. And do we have, we're not in a fort, so 4, he wins, he pushes us back. And seesaw battle back. So now we're turn 8. Now our attack has to be here because he's got 1 control, and the British could get a second control, and we could have lost. So let's make sure that was a 4. No, wasn't a 4. I got to remember which one it was. 4, he northeast. It's tough when you have a horrible memory because you can't remember whether it was a even turns, no, attack the American front markers in the northwest, no. I could go back and look real quick, but I don't want to do that. So it had to be an odd turn. So now we're on an even turn. So we're on turn 8. And we roll 6. We hit 3. So let's attack here. -1 or is it -2? Nope, just -1. You get 3 minus, now we're down. -1 is 4. Attacker wins. We flip him over. And we move up 1. And we're going to attack here with our seconds. Nothing. Attack there again with our last one. Nothing. Well, British turn. 1. Defend Lower Canada. Attack the American front markers on the northeast and the St. Lawrence fronts. All right. He attacks here first. Oh, and this could end. Well, the good news is got a 2, no advance, attack failed. Thank goodness, because he would have captured 2, and at any time they attack 2 or hold 2, that will be the end of it. All right, next, 4. 4, attacker wins, moving him off. So all of our gains here earlier have now completely been lost. So now we go to turn 9. Come on, give me another one. 5. 5 is 3 resource points. Well, obviously attack here, -1 again. -1 is 3. Attacker wins. Flip him over. We move here. We're going to continue to push him. Attack with our next one. 5. Pushing him back. So now seesaw, definitely a seesaw battle going on here, isn't there? And not a fort. So we're going to attack here. 3. Attacker wins. Yes. Pushing him back again, and we're moving up. All right. Well, now let's check the British turn. They got a 6, and we're an odd turn. Indians on a warpath. Put that northeast marker back up there. But that's the northwest warrior, only affects here. So now we go to turn 10, and then we'll take a look and see where we stand at the end of this turn. 6. Good news is we get 3 more resource points. So let's push there. Attack Niagara. 3. Pushed him back. We have 2 to go. That's a -1, so let's attack there. -1. And we got a 1. Really didn't help us. We'll attack there one more time. 6. Definitely moved him out that time. And now we've captured the fort. So, where do we stand at the end of halfway through our battle here? We got the Indians on the warpath over here. We're controlling the center lake, Lake Ontario. We are pushing here in the northeast front and in the Niagara front. Very important. So let's go to turn 11. Roll again. What do we end up? 2. We end up with a 2, which is only 1 resource point. So stop supplying. Let's do the British. Is that a fort? No. Well, we'll still do the British control here. That's a 50-50 shot in the chance of beating the British on Lake Champlain, which we did. Ship results, we got us a 5, so we flip it over. We're American controlled. Let's go to the British. They get a 5. 5 on a odd turn. If the British control Lake Ontario, which they do not, retreat the Americans, otherwise attack American ships on Lake Ontario. All right, well, that was important to hold that one. So the British attack, and they get a 4, which they win. 50-50 shot. All right. So they had a 4. And let's go to turn 12 here. Can't believe, well, it's a solo game, so we'll see how it works out here. All right, so turn 12, we have a 3, which is 2 resource points. First resource point we'll spend. Let's try here. That's a -2. So we need a 5 or a 6, which is very slim chance of getting. And we got us a 1, which does nothing. We got 1 more resource point. So 1 more resource point, and let's put a regular on there for our normal resource point. And now it's the British turn. For their resource point, they get a 5. 5 on an even turn. Attack American ships on American-controlled lakes. Well, looks like we only have 1 attack that they can do. And naturally, looks like they have got back control. All right. Well, that sucked. Okay. Let's go to turn 13 here. We have a 3, which is, again, 2 resource points. Oh, where do we want to spend those? Let's spend it up here. We got no forts, so let's spend 1 there. And we got us a 1, which we already know is no advance. We'll spend another one up there. 4. No die roll modifiers, and we win. We push him back. Good deal. All right. Now it's the British turn. 2 on a odd turn. Odd turn. British Navy. If the British control Lake Erie, which they do, retreat the American Northwest front marker 1 town. Otherwise, attack the ships. So we retreat 1 and moves to there, which is not good. We need, well, yeah, we need to attack there and we need to get off this one. So let's go to turn 14. Let's roll 4. Looks like we get 2 resource points. First resource point spend up here in the northwest front, which would be control, which is -2. So that's a 5 or 6. Well, we have to do that. We got 2, we got to do it twice. 5 or 6. 5. Outstanding. Defeated that regular, moved him. And now we have the 50% chance of removing the Indians from, well, that is not a fort. So I think there's a better opportunity here. So let's go ahead and, because these 2 typically go together and these 2 typically go together, and we're far enough along where they won't capture 2. So spend the next one up here. 5, good deal. We move him into Montreal and we captured Chambly. Now, odd turn, even turn, sorry. Defend Upper Canada. Attack the American front markers in the northwest and the Niagara fronts. All right, so the northwest front, first roll. 3. He 1, moves back and takes it. Now, I could use to re-roll the die here if he pushes me off, but let's wait and see. And is that a fort by chance? No. Okay. So, 3. He moves me back. I didn't use it to re-roll, which I could use to re-roll right now. 14, yeah, we better do that. So you're going to use for a re-roll, and does it pay off? Hell no. Does not pay off. Whack. Whack the hell out of me. All right, let's get me 3. 1. 1. Well, let's attack here. Because that was an odd turn. That was an even turn. Yeah, so now it's an odd turn. I don't know why I have such trouble remembering whether I've moved the turn or not. All right. Going too fast, some people would say, and I have a tendency to agree with them. All right. Let's attack him again. 2. Nothing. British turn. 1. And we're a odd turn. Defend lower. Attack the Americans on the northeast and the St. Louis fronts. Uh-oh. Okay, attack here. Shit. I think the game beat me. off and here and attack one more time. 3, and he beats me there, moves me here. And as it says, at any time, if the British markers occupy 2 American starting towns simultaneously after turn 4, British victory. Well, the British beat me again. I screwed up somehow and did not protect those. So that is the end of that battle, which sucks. We'll just do a reset. And yeah, we got plenty of time to play another one. Shoot. One of these times we'll see. It beat me again. All right. So we start with turn 1. Now let's see if we can remember to remove turn 1. Move the turn marker each time. So turn 1, we get 3. All right. We need to attack across all fronts. So attack here first. We win, move him, attack here. That's a -1. No go. We attack here. That's a -1. All right. Okay. Now, as long as they don't get these two, we're good. So, all right. 2 on an odd turn. We have the British Navy. If the British control the lake, otherwise attack American ships. We retreat northwest marker 1 point. See, there we go. See, we move the northwest marker, whack. So now we go to turn 2. Let's get us 2, 1 attack marker, and we attack here. 4, thank goodness, we move him off. And British turn 4. All turns. Flip over 2 British to regulars. It doesn't matter whom. All right, first off, that's a fort. He's in a fort. Everybody's in a fort. So we'll just flip over this guy and this guy. Turn 3. Come on, give me high roll, baby. 4. 2 resource points. Okay, let's attack here again. And that is a fort, so that's a -1. Nothing. Attack there again. Nothing. As he hangs his head low, his strategy is not working. All right, British time. 6 on an odd turn. Put the Indian marker, the Northwest Warriors there in play. All right. Turn 4. Just about remember now. I think I'm going to mark it somehow with that. All right. We roll. I will roll 4. All right. We got a 4, which is 2 resource points. Well, let's just attack these. That's a 5. What is that? 4, 5, or a 6. 50% chance here. And not even good. That's a 1. That's a 1. No, man, it's minus, and it's a -2. Oh, it's a -2, so that is a just a 5 or 6. And a 3. Again, nada, nothing. Zippo, zilch. Not gonna happen this week. Okay. Now, British turn. They got a 6, and we are an even turn. Reduce American regulars by 1, which we don't have. So we're going to go to turn 5. 6, we get 3. Okay. Well, we can do with that. All right. Well, let's go ahead and attack here then. That is -1. 5 minus 1 is 4. We still win. Well, now we're off the dime there. Here, we'll use our second one. That's a -2. 0. Attack again. Yes. That's 4, which is a successful attack. Now we flip them over and we're now in the fort. Okay, so it's the British turn. 3 on a odd turn. If the British control Lake Champlain, which they do, retreat to American marker 1 down. All right. And now turn 6. Yeah, turn. Well, that's what I'll do. I can mark it with this. Just because I have trouble remembering to move the marker. All right, turn 6. My turn. We get 3. First off, we'll attack here. Got 50% chance. Yes. Move him up. Now, to number 2, which is here. No. And is that a fort? No. Is this a fort? No. Okay, let's attack. Can't attack northeast because we still got that. So let's go ahead and see if we can remove him. 5. Yes, we have removed the warrior. And it's British turn. Maybe if I put it there. British turn. They get a 1. And it is a even turn. Defend. Attack the American front in the northwest and the Niagara fronts. All right. It's going to attack me here with a -1. 5 minus 1 is 4. He still wins. And that is a fort, -1. And no such luck. All right. So now we move the marker. We're at turn 7. Okay. Let's see what we got going here. 4. We got 2 resource points. And that's a fort. So that's a -1. And we get 2. So, no go. And yes. Move him up to there. Now it's the British turn. Here we go. 5. And we're an odd turn. 5. If they control St. Lawrence, if the British control Lake Ontario, retreat to St. Lawrence by 1. Oh, the St. Lawrence by 1. All right. Turn 8. Let's see here. Pushing hard to on the northeast front. Oh, I got to attack here no matter what. So how many do we get? 4, we get 2. So let's attack here first. Oh, no go. Let's attack there again. We got to get off that dime. 4. But he's got a -1, which is still a 3, which we still win. So there we go. Now that's another one we got to be worried about. British turn 3, and we are an even turn. If they control Lake Ontario, retreat the American Niagara front 1 town. Well, like, wait a minute. Let's see. 3. If the British control Lake Champlain, release the northeast marker 1 town. Okay, so damn it, get that fort back. There's 9. All right, odd turn. I did that wrong because we were on an even turn. If the British control Lake Ontario, check, they do. Retreat the Niagara front 1. Okay, that one stays here. All right, I think we got that correct. Made an error, but I think we corrected it because it's an even turn. It was an even turn. Now it's an odd turn. And we're back to the original here. We're back to the original there. Oh, and we still had not attacked him. So that's what we're going to do. Let's attack. 2. We're going to attack this guy. That's a -2. Come on. Shit. All right. No go on that. Now it's the British turn, which could end up being very, very bad. 6. And it's an odd turn. Okay. The warrior comes back into play on an odd turn. All right. Now we go to turn 10. Let's go ahead and try this again. Come on. 4. We get 2. We have to attack here, which is a -1. Didn't help. Let's try again. 4 -1 is still 3, which we win. So let's move him back and move him up. And now let's do the British turn. 5. And we're dealing with an even turn. Attack American ships on American-controlled lakes. We can get that one a lot, please, at this point in time. So we're coming up to turn 11 here. We have no lakes. We're halfway to Montreal here, and that's not a fort, and that's not a fort. So we can push Montreal hard. This one is not a fort either. Niagara is a fort. So let's push these 3 fronts. So turn 11. 6. Good. Let's just move this way and attack. No go there. Here. 4. Yes. And again. 4. Yes. Well, we got 2 out of the 3 attacks were successful. Now it's the British turn. 2 on an odd turn. If they control Lake Erie, which they do, retreat 1 mark, this as 1 marker. Yeah, retreat the northwest marker 1 town. Plus he's in play. All right, so now let's go to turn 12. We might make it a little bit further than we did last time. Can't count on it though. 4. We got 2 resource points. Let's concentrate here. So let's get rid of him first. 1, no effect. Let's try it again. 1, no effect. Well, that was a complete waste of a turn. British time. We're talking even turns. Attacked American front markers adjacent or 2 towns away from Montreal or York. 1, 2, no go. 1, 2, no go. 1, 2. Okay, he attacks here. And that should not be, yep. All right. 5, he wins. Move back and move to odd turn. All right. What are we going to do here? Come on. 1. Get 1 resource point. Well, that's -2. Let's see if we can get rid of this warrior. Three. Not getting rid of the warrior this turn. 6. And we're an odd turn. Put the marker in play. No. It's already in play. So go to 14. Okay, now let's see. Come on. 6. All right, we get 3. Get rid of this because I only got 1 warrior, so I can only add him just once, because that's not a ×2 over there. So, all right, 50% chance to get rid of the warrior. Good, got rid of the warrior. Attack here, -1. Got him. Move him, and we got 1 to go. Let's attack here. No such luck. Okay, British turn. 4. Flip over 2 British markers of their own choice. Okay, let's that one and this one. All right, let's go to turn 15. At turn 17, if we roll a 6, a piece occurs. So let's go to our odd turn. 1. Jesus. Well, that's where we'll be attacking. No warrior, no modifiers. Attack 4. And we win. And now it's the British turn. 6. We're dealing with an odd turn. They put the marker back in play. Jesus. 16. That was my British turn. All right. 3. We get 2 resource points. All right. That's just a -1. All right. I'm going to try -1 here. 5 -1 is 4, which we still win. Then we can flip him over. Yes. All right. So we got 1 more to play. And we're going to do the northwest. No, can't do the northwest front because we got them. That's -1. And well, it's just a -1. If that is in effect. So 2 -1. No such luck. British turn. 1. And we're dealing with a even turn. Defend Upper Canada. Attack the front markers in the northwest and the Niagara fronts. All right. Attacking here. No. attacking here. No, thank goodness. 17. And 5. We get 3 more resource points. So that's -2. I'm gonna try to just attack. Let's attack here first. Let's see how that goes. 1, no go. Attack him again. 4, we win. We push him back. Now we're within 2 of York. And this is a -2. Let's try that one. -2. 4 -2 is 2. No advance. British turn. 4. Flip over 2 if they're not already flipped over. Well, we got 1, 2. Let's flip this one over. And flip this one over. That sucks. Too bad you don't flip them over all the other way. Okay, yeah, they don't like me getting close to their capitals. All right, so we got 18. Turn 18. My turn. 1 point. All right, let's try to get a control of. No, yeah, let's get control of the lake. 3. No effect. British turn. 1. And we are an even. Upper, attack the American front markers in the northwest of Niagara. All right, we attack here first. He's successful, moving back. Attack here. 3, he pushes me out. And there. All right, turn 19. Turn 19, we definitely have to attack here. 3, which is 2 resource points. So the first attack, 6, definitely push him back. So flip him over, move him up, and -1, let's go for it. 6 here. That's our 2 resource points. Now we go to the British. 5 on a odd turn. If the British control Lake Ontario, which they do, retreat the American St. Lawrence marker 1 town. 1 town. All right. Last turn. Turn 20. All right. I think I got them all this time. Oh, we get 3. We may need it. All right. So this is -2. So attack that. 4 -2. No go. We gotta attack him again. 4. No. Come on, last one. No. All right. I know I lose. So the British has got a 3, and they're an even turn. If they control Lake Ontario, which they do, retreat the Niagara 1. Let's see, 3 even. Yeah, retreat Niagara, front 1 marker town. Otherwise, attack the ships. So they now captured Fort Niagara. Well, see, my question is that it says Fort Niagara, but it's not marked as a fort. So does that make it a fort? Because, well, not necessarily, because Kingston doesn't say it. So we'll just say it does not. All right. So that's what we got. So let's add up our points here. See how we're doing. Victory. Calculate. Okay, we had 6 victory points of Montreal was captured. Just missed it. 3 of York is captured. I don't know why they got York as only 3. Add 1 victory point for each town other than Montreal, York, or the starting American towns occupied along the front with the army markers. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's telling me I got 7. So let's just add that, make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. For each lake, nope. Deduct 2 points for each lake controlled by the British. That's 6. Holy shit. Deduct 2 for the Northwest Warrior. So that's 8. So far we're minus 1. And deduct 2 for each one of these. That's minus 2 more. So minus 3. Okay, by the British. Oh, I think it's called a butt whipping is what happened here. Yeah, 10 or less, the British wins. Canada will remain Great Britain. If the score is 6 or less, the Americans will lose territory. Yeah, well, looks like they're going to lose territory. Oh, well. We didn't in real life, so that's just unbelievable. We just got our butts handed to us more or less twice. The first time was they did it. So this game definitely is not easy to win. I think it's a lot more in depth, and I got to try different strategies. Right now, I've been trying to go up here because it's the least amount, but I guess it's 1 and 1, so it doesn't really matter. These have 2, and this only has 1. So again, I can just go up either one. This one is the tough one because it's got back-to-back forts, but it doesn't really matter. So that will be it for today. You got to see me get my butt kicked twice. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I enjoy the butt kicking that the game did to me. And next time we'll be back with War in the Pacific 1942, and followed on by the Bismarck #2 campaign. But we'll just keep them rotating until I get a 4th one to put in there, which is supposedly on its way. It's actually 2, but I can't tell you what those are yet because I haven't gotten them. So leave a like and leave a comment. And as always, I'm Captain Jake, wishing you fair winds and following seas. Until next time.